This is a quick video on how to use pivot tables in Excel. I'm doing this on a PC using Excel 2007. Each version and PC versus Mac is a little bit different, but you should be able to do these things. You just may have to look for them in different places. You have to start with a file that has column headings in every column for the area that you're going to define as your data. If you have an empty column, the pivot table will give you an error and it won't work, and it won't tell you why it's not working. So I have 4 columns of data. I'm going to select those columns. To get to the pivot table function in this version, I have to go to Insert. If you're using a Mac, you'll go to the Data menu. Insert, Pivot Table. It's best to use a new worksheet. So I'm going to click that, get a new worksheet. This gives you the pivot table interface, which should look the same on every version, although sometimes the coloring is different. You get your variables here. You have your place where the pivot table itself is going to land here. And you have boxes down here where you drag the variables. We're going to compare sex with whether or not people are afraid to walk at night. So you can see I've set up my column headings, female, male, blank, and my row labels, don't know, no, no answer, and so forth. But I don't have any data here. In order to get data there, I have to repeat one of them, either one of them, in the values area. The default is count, so you can see this says count of afraid to walk. Sometimes you want average or sum, so to change that you click on the drop down arrow, choose value field settings, and you can choose sum, count, average, and so on. You can change your number format by using this button. You can also ask to have your values shown as a column total, which is actually what we want here. So we're going to choose % column total. Okay, so now instead of the raw numbers, we get the percentages, which are easier to compare. We're going to get rid of the blanks by using this drop-down menu. So we want female, male, and no blanks. We're also going to get rid of the no answer and not applicables over here. So we use this drop-down menu, not applicable, blank. Uncheck those, and we'll leave the don't knows in. That seems like a kind of interesting answer. But the no answer, we don't want that. Okay, so this gives us a smaller table with more meaningful data. And to do anything else with this, I think it's useful to copy it, paste as values, because this interface, so see, this is the interface, and if we decide we want to go in and take out sex and use poverty status instead, then our original data would have gone away. So I've preserved my data, and I also have more freedom to do things to the data once it's down here as values. All right, so what do I want to do with this? I want to set it up to make a graph. So I'm going to select the stuff that I want in the graph, the don't know, no, and yes by female and male. I'm going to insert a column graph and gives me something I don't like, so I'm going to switch the rows and columns, and there I get the difference between female and male. And I would want to do some more things to this graph before I showed it to anybody, like change this to percentages, get rid of anything above 100%. So I'm just formatting my graph to make it look more like how I want it to look. And I'm going to change the number to %. Voila. Looks better, huh?